Welcome to All Waves Considered. This is your host, Brett Latimer.
And this is your host, Julius Spicciani, and we're going to be talking about the surf from April 14th, 2023.
What a day it was. It was bumpy and big, and everyone was ripping out there, having a great time.
And it cleaned up pretty intensely. I was there in the morning time, and then I heard all of a sudden it cleaned up. It really did.
Yeah, nobody really saw it coming. There was some sort of little cyclone, like frontal activity going off way out in the Gulf. And it just gave us that kind of west-northwest wind, made the west side of the pier super fun.
I feel like I haven't got shots that good since the 4th of March? Was that our super big day?
I think so. That was a fun day. When you were out down in the Avenidas and got some videos, is that the day?
Exactly, yeah.
That was such a fun day. We were getting barreled out there doing 4 or 5 turns on a wave. Such a good day. But honestly, I had more fun yesterday.
Yeah. That's how I felt. I felt like it was like it was easy to paddle out. Like that day, it was like, I don't know about you, but it took me 20 minutes to paddle out.
Yeah, it was all about the swell direction. Yesterday, the swell was super southeast, so it made a really bad current, but it also made a rip that pulled you right out into the liner. And then it made those lefts that peeled forever.
Yeah. Can you tell me how long you've been surfing?
So I've only actually been surfing since last year, so...
Yeah, I don't believe that at all. Someone told me that, and I was like, there's no freaking way.
I would say that in that year, so I kind of surfed a little bit the year before, but last year I started like taking it seriously, and I'd go out every single swell.
Yep.
So I would say I put probably 3 times more work in a single year than your average surfer does.
Yeah, and it shows. You're pretty proficient shortboarder.
Well, thanks. Yeah. That board that I've got, the one that the red spray with the racing stripes, I did that spray myself. That board's just magical. It's a deep single concave, real flat rocker. That board kind of brought my surfing to life.
No kidding. What is it?
It's a Lost V2. It's 6 foot, 19 wide. It's just super, super flat rocker. So it goes over those soft sections really well, despite being so small. It's only like 28 liters. As opposed to, I've got a bunch of other boards that are super rocked out that I kind of doing all, you get into something, you do all sorts of research. I did so much research and found out that all the good guys were riding super rockered out boards. And so I was like, oh yeah, I'm just going to do that. It is so much harder to build speed with a board that has a lot of rocker.
Yeah, I guess we're not on pipeline, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly, yeah. And the rocker boards work for really bigger waves, and it probably would have worked for yesterday, but honestly, I was having so much fun on my Lost.
Yeah.
I just stuck with it. Yeah.
And why do you surf?
Oh, dude, I've been all over the world. I've done so many cool things. I've rappelled through waterfalls and caves and done scuba diving. And there's really nothing like harnessing something as powerful and raw in nature as waves.
Yeah.
Like it's just, and it's so minimalistic and pure, just you and one piece of equipment, like as opposed to like, I don't know, scuba diving or like, I love flying. That's I'm a pilot. So that's kind of my first love really is flying. Even that, there's some parts of surfing that are just even better because it's just you and this kind of raw thing. I don't know, that nature produces that you can, just be in harmony with for a short period of time.
I love that. I've never heard that particular flavor of explanation. I love that. And so you're leaving us. You're going to the East Coast. Where are you going again?
Up to Virginia, where I was born, where my parents live.
How close are you going to be to the water?
So right on the water. It's Virginia Beach.
Oh, wow. Probably better surf than here, right?
So Virginia Beach kind of gets flattened by the discharge from the Chesapeake Bay.
Okay.
About 100 miles south, Cape Hatteras.
Oh, wow.
A little more than 100 miles south. That's like some of the best surf on the East Coast.
Yeah. Wow.
So hurricane swells down there. I don't know if you know who Brett Barley is. If you've ever seen his videos on YouTube.
I think might have seen a couple, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's up there getting tubed out of his mind. So I'll be making trips down there for sure.
That's cool. Well, hopefully the Gulf Coast has created a good learning environment for you to get wild.
It was difficult to learn here, let me tell you.
It is, yeah. And what makes it difficult about learning here?
I would say the wave period is so short all the time. So you get these, like, there's rarely like a good, clean, open face
Mm-hmm.
for you on a big soft top to just kind of roll in.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything is a heavier than normal drop, especially like I would say our perfect like size where it kind of rolls over the outside sandbar and crashes nicely on the shore break is like 2 to 3 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Gets
Yep.
bigger than that, it's closing out super hard on the
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah.
And if it gets way bigger than that, it's breaking way outside, and it's really hard to get a big board out there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really hard to find the perfect day for a beginner to go out there, you know?
You're right. Yeah. Yeah. If you're not just catching whitewater, yeah, it's like
Yeah.
we get like
Yeah. And
go ahead.
I was I was very frustrated starting off catching whitewater because I always saw the guys like out on the open face ripping. So I would always try and do that. And so just probably 30-40 times a session when I was a beginner, I was just going over the falls,
Yeah.
like face first into the flats.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, doing that, I probably did like 500, 600, 1,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually you just get it, you know?
Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of times our waves are pretty steep, and like you're saying, they're pretty quick, that transition from the green wave to the whitewater. And so it really does, a lot of days really do kind of push you onto a shorter board, which is not very good for beginners.
True, very true, yeah. I had a really nice kind of intermediate, I call it a mid-length. It's a shortboard shape. It's a 610. I absolutely recommend anybody that's trying to get into shortboarding have an intermediate board like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's maybe 10 liters or so bigger than what you're hoping to get on eventually.
Yeah.
That board really helped me transition, helped me learn how to paddle much more effectively. And it's able to do a few little drops, a few bigger drops, I mean.
Yep.
And now I use it on flatter days. I still have it. So it's a good long-term investment too, to get a board like that. Mid-length, 610, 7.0, something like that. Thank you for watching and listening to All Waves Considered. I'm your host, Brett Latimer, and I'll see you out there.